Welcome back to The Bridge on WSAV. You know, there's a lot of talk about cyber security these days and how we have to make sure that we're so careful online. I mean, think about it. We shop online. I mean, we go into our accounts and, you know, obviously we have to have passwords, but how can we make sure that we are protected and nobody is going to get into our personal information? Well, that's exactly what we're talking about with our coastal expert from Infinity Inc. Chuck Brown joins us again. He's the CEO here at Infinity Inc. Hi, Chuck. It's great to see you.
Hey, good to see you.
So now this is a scary thing for me because I always think about this, and you know, I've had some bad luck, of course, with passwords and that kind of thing. So what do you recommend for making strong passwords? Because as a technology expert, I'm sure you must hear a lot about hacking and cyber threats.
We definitely hear about some scary cyber threats. There are a lot of rules of thumb about passwords. We like to go with Microsoft's guidelines since they're obviously a big name in the industry. And their guidelines are that your password is at least 8 characters long. It doesn't contain your name, any formal names, any real names, any company names. Doesn't contain any complete words, is significantly different than any of your previous passwords, and it contains a combination of uppercase, lowercase, numbers, and special characters.
Okay, so you've just messed up all of my passwords. I mean, that's the scary thing. So what you're saying is the word password, I mean, it's not going to keep someone out of my account for very long if I'm using things that, you know, are easy to figure out.
Right. That's true, and you're really not even worried about keeping a person out. The problem, the threat, is because there are programs out there that are designed to randomly run through hundreds of thousands of passwords to try different things. And common things are easier to crack is the bottom line. If someone does want to attack you to get into your things, they're going to check your street address, your birth city, your spouse's name, your dog's name, things that are common information. Most of the information needed to crack most passwords you can find on Facebook.
Really?
Yeah.
Just on Facebook, and we're all on social media each and every day. I mean, loads of us.
Right, and as soon as your password's compromised, not always, but in a lot of cases when a password's compromised, it's immediately made for sale on the dark web. I mean, just some recent studies have looked at the costs of buying passwords on the dark web. Just some examples. You can buy a banking account login that is valid for $160. You can buy an Apple ID for $15, an Airbnb account for $7, Uber credentials for $7. These are results of people cracking into other people's accounts and putting their information up for sale.
Okay, so you're talking about the dark web. Okay, so that scares me a little bit because I've heard talk of the dark web and that kind of thing, but explain it to us and explain it to our viewers. What is the dark web?
Well, there's very little good on the dark web. The dark web is used by people who are selling or buying things that they can't put on the regular web. And that's everything from illegal drugs, stolen pharmaceuticals, cyber weapons used to create malware, physical weapons, forged documents, stolen credit cards, ISIS recruiters, human trafficking, you know, pretty much anything you can think of that's depraved and evil, you can find somewhere on the dark web. The good thing is the dark web is it's not something you're going to stumble onto. It's not the easiest thing to get to. It takes special tools and techniques. The bad thing is that those tools and techniques are readily available on the web. But the good news is you're not just going to stumble into it.
Well, and I want to make this clear with our viewers. We're talking about two different things here. I mean, just the regular web and the dark web, and they are very different.
Yes. I mean, the regular web is what we all know, and there's information that is and is not accessible to you. Like there may be information behind company firewalls that you don't have access to. The dark web is used for very specific nefarious purposes. I mean, it isn't something, again, that you're going to stumble into. However, something for your viewers to be aware of is, as a novice, even making an effort to get to the dark web and getting on the dark web, even though you can, makes you susceptible to certain bad actors.
So here's the thing, if you are curious, just don't be curious. This is something that you don't want to play around with at all because you do subject yourself to a lot of risk.
Absolutely.
And just unsafe things out there. So let's get back to passwords because it sounds very dangerous, of course, with all the talk about the dark web, but what can I do if one of my passwords has been compromised on a site, let's say I use all the time?
Okay.
I mean, and would I even know?
Well, you can find out. One of the services we offer is called a dark web scan. And what it does is looks at the domains, the email addresses your company uses, and searches certain databases on the dark web to see if that shows up, implying that one or more of your employees' passwords have been compromised. So that's something we can help you with. As for what you can do if you've actually been compromised, that's a little more difficult. The first thing to do in any case, anytime a website that you're dealing with, you hear it's been compromised, change your passwords. It's a good idea to change your passwords regularly anyway, but if you've been compromised, you certainly want to change every password you can get your hands on.
Well, let me tell you, you've got me talked into going home and changing all of my passwords across the board, at work, at home, personal, business, everything. You know, a lot of viewers watching right now, and I'm sure that they'd like to know if you have any other recommendations on how we can protect ourselves and our businesses and our personal information online.
The best thing is a consultation, to sit down and talk to someone like us, talk to your service provider, talk about the vulnerabilities that you have. You know, what accesses do you have to the outside world? Security, it's also important to lock out what you don't need. Instead of allowing everything and then trying to figure out what you should disallow, take the other approach. Disallow everything and allow only what you need. So the tighter you can make those locks, the more secure you're going to be.
Well, we want to make sure that that doesn't happen for our viewers. We want to make sure that your businesses are protected and your personal information is protected as well. And that's something that Infinity Inc. works with all the time.
Absolutely.
Chuck, I want to thank you for joining us and providing us all the information you did today. It's always great to see you.
Thanks. Good to see you.
If you'd like more information on Infinity Inc. or any of our postal experts, just check out our postal experts page. You'll find that at wsav.com.